And I give the floor to the representative of Algeria.
Thank you, President. I want to thank first my colleagues from Malta and Ecuador for their presentation of the report of the Security Council Committee pursuant to Resolution 1267 and 2253, and Security Committee established pursuant to Resolution 1540 for their briefing. I want also to thank my colleagues, the members of the Security Council Committee established pursuant to Resolution 1373. Mr. President, terrorism is evolving far quicker than our response, and weapons of mass destruction are casting longer shadows than ever before. And worst, the advancement of technology is amplifying both our capacity but also our vulnerabilities. I heard and I listened attentively to the briefing of my colleagues, and their words are highlighting uncomfortable facts, because we face unprecedented challenges, and yet our mechanism, our cooperations for addressing them remain outdated. Let me be clear. The threat of terrorism is anything but theoretical. And my country, Algeria, knows it firsthand. In the 90s, we suffered from it alone. We were isolated, and we fought against it alone. And fortunately, we overcame alone. And this experience, this bitter experience, has taught us two fundamental realities. First, we as international community, we cannot continue on this unsustainable course. When terrorist groups master artificial intelligence well before some states grasp the basics of counterterrorism, we have a problem there. And this challenge can be tackled, but that requires us to face three hard facts. First, fragmentation. We have three committees, working in silos, while terrorist groups, terrorist organizations are networked across borders. Second, inequality. While some countries have resources to fight terrorism, others are struggling to meet basic security needs. Third, technological advancement, where tomorrow's threats are being shaped by today's innovations. And these spaces are not separate. They are interconnected, and they are amplifying each other. Mr. Chair, counterterrorism cannot succeed without rooting out its causes. There is no alternative to ensuring development and justice. There is no option but good governance and fairness. And as far as the rule of law is concerned, no compromise whatsoever. When we look at our continent, Africa, day in and day out, we see how poverty, extreme poverty, we see how despair is exploited to fuel extremism. We see weak institutions subject to infiltration. We see how lack of opportunity is becoming a breeding ground for radicalization. And what is done by our committees, our council, in the face of this landscape? We established committee. We are meeting. We are discussing. But these three committees are not working the one with the other. We have plan, we have expectation, but without corresponding resources. And this approach must change. And my country is making the following proposal. Equilibre, first. Equilibre is key between security and development, between prevention and response, and using new technologies as a peaceful mean, while protecting against their misuse. Second, support to the poorest countries must be real. No promises, but resources. No conditionality, but cooperation. And please, no lectures, but partnership in fighting against terrorism. Third, regional approaches must be consolidated. And Africa, in this regard, in the fight against terrorism, has no time to waste. And the threat, because the threat is racing faster than our response today. The way forward is clear. First, reinforce legislative framework in the fight against terrorism, a resolute fight against terrorism, while upholding the rule of law. Second, strengthen border controls while allowing legitimate mobility of people and trade to flow. Third, build capacities while respecting sovereignties. Fourth, share at a lower cost possible technology while safeguarding peaceful use. Fifth, if I may, choose the country to visit among the most vulnerable, the most affected by terrorism. And we look forward for a visit of CTED to the Sahel, to the Lake Chad, and not to countries who do not experience terrorism. To conclude, President, nothing justifies terrorism, and nothing substitutes genuine international cooperation. And my country, who have a bitter experience in the fight against terrorism. My country, Algeria, stands ready to share its experience, to harness its expertise, and to work with all partners who share our vision of a world free from terrorism. But we must act now. The future is not something that happened to us. It is something we can shape together. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Algeria for their statement.